What's going on, nerds? Welcome back to Comic Book Nerd Nation, episode 123. We got the whole crew back together this week. I'm Fox2. We got Pirate.
I cannot stop farting.
We got Topher.
Yeah, I wish I could say I was glad to be back, but that means vacation's over and I don't like you guys that much.
Yeah, you'll have that. And the whole effing Brian.
I have the same problem as Pirate right now.
So, Topher, you've been gone for, 2 episodes at least. How was vacation? Where'd you go and everything?
Went on a cruise to the Caribbean up the Central American coast, Honduras, Belize, Mexico. It was fun. It was a week long plus the weekends on both ends.
I don't know how you can talk about a cruise through the Caribbean to all those sweet-ass places and still sound like Eeyore.
Because I got an hour and a half of sleep last night, so I'm still in the process of waking up.
Fair enough.
He was so excited to be on the Comic Book Nerd Nation again
Yeah,
that he couldn't sleep.
because you guys are not those places, so
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the excitement
I know.
got left on the boat.
Did you get Montezuma's Revenge?
No.
Oh.
That's
no
like
fun.
Brian's dream come true. That's like what he wants to
I
find
drank
a
dirty
way.
water!
He
and
wants
now I'm
to
shitting my
find a
pants.
way
Yeah!
to shit his pants for 7 days straight.
Oh, do you have photos from vacation? Yeah, sure. Here. Why is it all shit?
It's just buckets full of poo. God.
Every photo taken from the bathroom.
That's why I wanted to be an astronaut, so I could shit in my clothes and not be frowned upon about it.
No, I was since I was on vacation during opening weekend, I didn't get all the buckets of shit that was Batman v Superman.
Yeah.
Beat you to it.
It actually, his review actually wasn't as bad as we had anticipated. He kind of ate crow on a lot of the shit talking that he had.
Well, I wouldn't say.
I gave it a
whole lot.
2.5.
Well,
But
yeah.
there was some things he did eat crow on, but not a lot.
Somehow,
Like,
somehow
maybe-
he said that the actors were phenomenal, but the movie was a 2.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Ben Affleck was better than I thought. That's about it. Well, Gal
Gal
Gadot
Gadot.
did it. It wasn't
Pretty
as bad
much
either.
every review that I've read has said that he's the best Batman that we've had. He's the Batman.
You also
that
have
we've
to
always
think
wanted.
there was only one other good Batman.
Adam West.
Hmm.
Okay, 2 other good Batman.
Michael Keaton.
Val
And I'm not
Kilmer.
talking about that guy who played Batman in the black and white
I was
series.
gonna say George Reeves. George Reeves. That was
No,
Superman.
that was the guy who was Superman in black and
Yeah.
white.
So, let's just jump right in and start talking about some news, Pirate.
Now I'm
Bum,
curious,
bum, bum.
what are your Batman rankings?
Wow.
Batman
Wow.
actor rankings.
That's all you get. Thanks, Topher. Thanks,
Damn.
Topher.
He just
I do-
shitted on your fucking.
You dulled stoned my fucking creative edge, man.
Yeah,
Way to go.
There it goes. Done. Yeah, okay, so we'll talk about Batman rankings first, apparently. Brian, give me your top 3 Batman.
Batflack, Baleflack, and Adam Westflack.
Okay. What about you, Topher?
Oh, I don't know.
It was your goddamn question.
It was my question to Brian, not to
your
me.
Head, get your head out your ass, son.
I mean, Clooney's obviously the worst Batman. There's a lot of middle.
You think Clooney was worse than fucking Val Kilmer?
For sure.
Yes.
George Clooney even went on. He got asked by a reporter what he thought about all the negative press that Batman v Superman was getting, and he went on record saying, "I am." It was something along the lines of, and I'm paraphrasing here, but do you really think that I'm a person that's qualified to answer that question?
Touche.
So, I mean, he knew he was a shitty fucking Batman. So, Topher, what are your top 3?
Yeah, Ben Affleck might be number 1, and then Christian Bale, and then Michael Keaton, maybe.
Okay. Pirate?
I'm gonna pretty much just I'm going to agree with Topher. Ben Affleck, Christian Bale, Michael Keaton.
Okay.
And Michael Keaton simply because that's the first time I've seeing The Dark Knight on screen, and I was like 10 years old, so it could be nostalgia more than anything. But Adam West too. I grew up watching the Batman shows, but I don't consider him the Dark Knight.
Yeah. So mine's a little different because I have not gotten a chance to see Batman v Superman yet. That doesn't mean we're not going to talk about it. So there will be spoilers in this podcast. If you haven't seen it yet, we'll talk about that here in just a minute. So far, before seeing BVS, I would say Christian Bale. I gotta go with Michael Keaton next because, like you said, Pirate, it brings back so many fond memories of being a kid and seeing him on the big screen, and all the merchandising that was kind of around that. The theater mugs, the black theater mugs with the yellow bat symbol on them. I still have one somewhere. I'm not sure where it's at. Just all the toys and things like that they did in the Happy Meals and all that stuff. It was, people had Batman fever for sure when that came out. After that, it gets pretty tough, but I have to go with Adam West. Because Val Kilmer and George Clooney just
come on, shark repellent spray. How can you not love a Batman with shark?
Well, it's just like, yeah. I get it, and it was funny, and it was lighthearted, and it was fun, but it's not the Batman that I love, which is like Pirate said, not to steal your quotes directly, but it's not the Dark Knight. It's Batman, but it's not the Dark Knight. It's not the grittier, darker, detective kind of feel to it, with the action in there. It's just a lighthearted. Motherfuckers walking around in blue spandex in the middle of the day, like that's that's just not Batman.
Dances. Yeah. They have a they have a go-go's. They have go-go scenes.
Yeah, and that's just not, to me. That's just not the Dark Knight. Sure, it's Batman because of the heritage behind it, and I'll always appreciate it, and I'm definitely going to get the whole series on Blu-ray just to have and to watch on occasion. But although I've heard that
maybe if you put those dancers on ice skates, it would be Batman.
Yeah, right. That was
ice capades.
I will give.
If it had nipples, it would be Batman.
I will give Val Kilmer credit. If I was going strictly off of Bruce Wayne, I think Val Kilmer was a very good Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that. George Clooney did a decent Bruce Wayne. George Clooney did a decent Bruce Wayne. His Batman was foul, though.
Yeah.
I don't even think he did a good Bruce Wayne.
I've heard that the kind of going back to the Adam West thing, though, the 66 series on Blu-ray, I've heard that it kind of takes away from the magic a little bit, because with it on Blu-ray, it's in such high definition now that you can see the Joker, you can see all his makeup and shit flaking and stuff.
That's on even on the mic. I have all the Batman.
I've got it on DVD. Yeah, I've got it on DVD, and you can already see that.
Yeah, even the Michael Keaton Batman with Jack Nicholson on Blu-ray.
I have that
is
on Blu-ray. Yeah,
it's like you see his purple suits, his makeup.
Yeah, it's just got makeup on there and shit.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
he's got purple in his white and white in his purple, and it's
yeah, it kind of takes away from the magic a little bit, because you kind of, what I mean? It's kind of like you're peeking around the curtain a little bit, and you're kind of seeing the making of a little. I don't know.
Do they match the carpet?
It's wow. Right. On that note, let's jump over. So, spoiler alert. This next section is definitely going to have some Batman versus Superman spoilers. I have not yet seen it, but I am okay with dealing with the spoilers. I just haven't got to see it yet, and I don't want the listeners to have to wait to hear us talk about it.
Could probably do some spoiler, or mostly spoiler-free reviews, and then maybe we'll see.
We already did that last week. So
the plot analysis. Really?
Okay. Yeah, we can just dive right in, and I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it because
I tried to hold in my spoilers.
Let's be honest. I pretty much know what's going to happen. So
I had I actually haven't.
Let me
watched.
tell you about my best
Let's
friend.
start with
I hadn't
Topher.
watched last. I hadn't watched last week's podcast yet, so I'm kind of curious what your guys' opinions are.
Let's talk to Topher first because we haven't heard his opinion. What you know?
Well, we haven't heard
Give us the rundown.
John's opinion either.
My opinion never counts. You know that.
No, I said Pirate's opinion.
I know. That's why I said my opinion never counts because you didn't even mention me, dick.
Well, you didn't see it yet.
It's hard for you to have an
said that.
opinion when you
Yeah,
haven't seen it
I'm
yet.
just kidding. So no, we haven't heard from Topher on anything in half a month. So let the man speak.
It's true.
It's been
Overall,
a great half a month.
right? Hey, believe me, I didn't have to hear you guys either.
You know what's
so
crazy is
I'm gonna
what's
agree with
crazy
that.
is the 2 episodes you're gone, both of them under an hour. Both of them fell short of our
Hey.
typical.
Because you guys didn't argue for 20 minutes over the color of shoelaces.
I mean,
I'm
that's
sorry
probably
I'm sorry that without me being here, you guys just can't generate enough content to be interesting.
I
it's,
can't generate enough poop jokes to fill your 20 minutes.
I'm trying to see. I'm trying to see if there's a way that I can tell how. Go ahead and start talking about it, and I'll let you know how long the last 2 were here. In just a second.
Were the podcast as empty as Pirate's shelving unit back there?
I have Lemmy Kilmister in Deadpool, along with a Star Wars coloring
Yeah,
book
where's
and
all
a
your
Batman
fucking-
comic.
Where's
It's a
all
good
your
start.
comic book shit?
It's a good
It's
start.
all downstairs in my
You
bottom.
also
living
need to
room.
shift it to the left or the right so it's not directly behind your fat
Well,
head, so we
this is
can
all
see
gonna-
some of the shit.
Everything in here is going to be moved around because I got
Yeah.
when I start soundproofing it, it's going to be
Yeah,
different.
that was the only place he could put it for now. Like there was no
Yeah,
room.
there's no other room in that. Yeah, so the first one when you were gone was 46 minutes, and then the second one was 41 minutes.
Damn, you guys suck.
Although the last one you were here was 49, so
Yeah,
we usually have.
I mean,
between. 50
I don't really have any control over when it ends anyway. Like all of a sudden, I'll be like opening my mouth to talk about the news that I wanted to talk about, and that's when you're normally like, "All right, well, that's about it for this week."
Usually
Okay.
seems like a good time to end when you start talking.
Exactly.
Because you burn up all your minutes talking about X-Men.
Right.
Motherfuckers all the
We got to
time.
put him on, a
that
podcasting plan.
prepaid.
We got to put him on
Yeah.
a podcasting plan where he's got to send in money for minutes. Yeah, how much you want to talk about X Men?
I-
That'd be 10 minutes, $10.
Do I get rollover?
Dollar-
Do I have
dollar-
paid for the last
Nope.
couple
Yeah,
weeks?
Use it or
give
lose
you-
it.
I give you rollovers, but it's $1 a minute, son. All right, what do you? What do you think of
Batman v
yes, yeah.
Superman? It was better than I was expecting, but I still had a lot of issues with it. I enjoyed watching it, but to be honest, the first half of the movie, I spent most of my time just being confused as fuck. Like they jump from scene to scene, and they don't really give you a whole lot of indication of what's going on. They just bring you into the middle of a plot point, and you don't really know if it makes sense. You always get the feeling that you're like jumping in the middle of a conversation, and it's like I get that you were getting more emotion than information from them because they were all, like they'd be talking about something and it was obviously very important to them and you could get a feeling for what was going on. But I felt like the movie was way more about feelings than information in more ways than one, not just the viewership, but my one big critique of the Batman character in this is that this was a Batman who seemed to be ruled more by his emotions than by logic and reason. You've got this older, grizzled veteran Batman who should be, well used to being the world's best detective, and you've got him running around basically being nothing but a pawn in this story for a good part of it. And for him to have to figure out and to never really see him putting pieces together of the larger the plot and the villain's plan just seemed kind of odd to me. Ben Affleck's portrayal was very good, but I thought the character as written it just seemed a little off.
I have a question before you get too much further. you said he's an older Batman. Obviously, we all knew that. But and again, I haven't seen the movie. But so was he retired and coming back into action, or has he been active all the way up until this point, or do they even touch on that?
He's been active he's been active the whole time.
He doesn't seem like he's been super inactive. Like it's not like he has to go in and dust off the Batcave or anything.
So it's not it's not like Return to the Dark Knight Returns.
No, it's not. It's not like completely retired and you see him come out of retirement for this.
I was kind of hoping for that.
Well, it's not to say that it isn't either. Like I said, they don't give you a whole lot of background information about the good damn anything. Like you.
Did they really
This is one of those
how
movies.
old he is?
No. Like, they really didn't establish anything. Like I said, all these scenes, it was just like the film was done almost more as an art piece. Like, those really artsy movies where it like goes from scene to scene and you have no idea what's going on, but it's just these weird establishing shots and then someone like broodingly saying like something in a French accent, and then like it just jumps to some other scene and there's people randomly doing things. Like the whole first half of the movie felt like that. Like it was very pretty. The music was really good. Like it was sufficiently epic, and the effects were great, and like everything, artistically was there. But in terms of plot and like enjoying the movie, it was almost like you were trying to analyze a piece of art than just being able to enjoy a movie experience. And all half of these scenes too, a lot of them ended up being some sort of dream or not actually happening, and or a flashback or a flash forward or and it was like it was very difficult to understand. Is this every time the scene would change, you just come in the middle of something and they'd be talking about something, you have no idea what it is they're talking about, and you're trying to piece together the plot and you don't even know if this is real or not, and it's like 5 minutes into it, you're like, this is going to be a dream sequence, isn't it? And you finally find out that it is, but they take so long to clue you in to what the fuck they're doing that like I spent more time confused than enjoying.
So I wonder why. This is, again, haven't seen it, so this is just kind of me analyzing what you guys have said and what I've read and everything like that. But I wonder, the way you talk about it and the way you talk about, especially, all three of you have said that Ben Affleck was the best Batman we've seen. I wonder why they chose to go with an older Batman leading into Justice League. Because now you're going to have Superman, you're going to have Wonder Woman, you're going to have all these other characters, and then you're going to have an older Batman.
Well, so I think
because he has a hard-on for.
I mean, I don't think it's a bad thing necessarily, but it's just
Batman Returns.
I mean,
the problem I have.
We've recently had a younger Batman. We've seen the Batman origin story. We've seen all that stuff.
Did we see it again in this?
No.
Yes.
The origin? Yes.
No, you just seen his parents die in the opening credits.
That is basically
God
the origin.
Again?
We see so much. That's what he's talking about.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
How many times have we seen him die in like the cartoons, in the movies?
1,000. Nobody needs to see it anymore.
They show it once at the beginning.
The only time I've ever seen more pearl necklaces outside of like Batman almost has more pearl necklaces on screen than pearl porn.
They show it during the opening credit sequence, and the first thing I was thinking was, "Oh, great! I always wondered what happened to Batman's parents." But I was thinking, okay, well, they're not really spending a whole lot of time on it. It's during the opening credits. I guess that's excusable. But then they even do a flashback to it later on, and they like re-show it all again, and it's like, oh my god, we get it. His parents fucking died. Like,
do you think
so?
Do you think they put that in there for people that are like know who Batman is but don't know dick about Batman?
No,
if you don't know dick about Batman, you are a dick.
It was except for Dick Grayson, because he does know dick about Batman. So
every time we say that, it makes me think of that fucking advertising campaign that they had when they did the Dick Grayson.
Right.
You think you know, but you don't know dick.
Nightwing, but you don't know dick.
That's fucking great.
So
when they changed him over to fucking super.
Agent
yeah, Agent
47
Grayson,
or something.
whatever. So I just think that the movie was confusing in a lot of places, and then when it finally did catch on, like when it finally started to come together, the Batman's origin, the whole parents dying thing was a relevant plot point, and they do make use of that. And so I feel like for the few people who might not actually know, the intro credit scene served a purpose, and I was okay with that. But like it to flash back to it was like, oh my god. And then when Wonder Woman shows up finally, like it was like you were suddenly transported to 300. Like Zack Snyder all over it. Like the music, the cinematography, and the costume, it was all like suddenly bam 300 straight in your face, and like it just felt so much like 300, like they were beating you over the head with it. It was
All
like
she was missing was the spray on abs.
yeah, like but so many movies I've said before that, like, for me, rewatchability is a big thing. Like I enjoyed the hell out of the original Avengers movie. Like it was awesome, the first Avengers movie. But when I rewatch it now, like the whole first 20 minutes or so, 30 minutes where they're escaping the Shield facility, and
I fast forward through that.
Like I'm always like, oh yeah, this part. Can I fast forward? Can I just skip to the good part? Like there's so much stuff that I'm like, oh yeah, this scene was kind of boring. Oh yeah, this scene was kind of meh. And so like the rewatchability of that is not great for me, and so like it brings the movie down a couple notches. Batman v Superman, I feel like might be one of those movies where I'm actually going to enjoy it more on subsequent watchings, because once I actually know these plot points and know how it's supposed to go, and I'm not going to be sitting through it confused as fuck, I can actually enjoy the acting and the the visuals and the effects and the music and everything, and the cool ass fight scenes, and I'll be used to the plot being what it is, and
So out of 10,
and I think it'll actually get better.
Out of 10, what do you give it?
6.5.
Okay, I mean significantly better than what Marvel Dick Rider Brian gave it. Okay, that's not bad. I mean, that's not.
What did you think about how they became best friends?
It was a scene out of Step
Yeah.
Brothers.
So the
hang on before we get into specifics. I want to hear what Pirate has to say, because he had not watched it either. Only Brian had watched it last week when we talked. So I think it's only fair that we give him his spot in the or his time in the spotlight, if you will.
I've seen it twice so far.
Oh.
Damn.
And
Didn't know this was a dick measuring contest.
Well, I'm just saying,
Ask how he saw it twice.
it's relevant on
It is relevant.
He said
subsequent. I bet it'll be better on multiple viewing. So
yeah. So, anyways, I like I said, best Batman Bruce Wayne on screen that we've seen. Wonder Woman was awesome. I think they could have. They had some kind of weird. I don't know. I felt like there was some weird scenes with Bruce Wayne and her. I don't know. Let's see. Superman. It was basically the exact same Superman from Man of Steel.
Well, yeah.
Is Man of Steel?
So is Man of Steel still in the canon or whatever with these movies? Is it still?
Yeah.
Oh, Man of Steel. Yeah. Like
I read.
It
some
directly
stuff.
leads into it.
All right, because I read some stuff that said that it might not, like the way they address certain things. I again don't know. Just asking.
I mean, the whole scene from the Battle of Zod is in this movie.
Yeah, like the opening few scenes is but you're seeing it from Bruce Wayne's perspective.
Okay. And then it goes then it shows 18 months 18 months later.
Okay.
That was a cool scene. It's just funny seeing Bruce Wayne drive a little electric Jeep.
Yeah, it was kind of weird.
It was a little weird because the car's making such a weird sound. It's like,
it was no Batmobile.
Yeah, but I like that it was all blacked out with the security lights on top. It just looked really weird for a security vehicle. But I thought, and Batman is 43 in this movie.
Where'd you hear that?
Well, he's 8 years old when his parents died, and his parents died in 1981. So, and then he said something like, he says that there's a spot in the movie where he says like
They give you all this in the movie. They give you all these numbers and everything.
Well, it was on their tombstone.
But it tells you what year it is current.
Yeah,
Okay.
it says.
Well, I mean, you assume that it's present
but
day.
yeah, you assume it's present
I
day.
mean, technically, I think it's actually like 2015, not 2016, because it says
Well,
18
didn't they
months
film
later.
it? Didn't
18
they film
months
it?
after the battle.
Didn't they finish filming in 2014?
Yeah, but Man of Steel came out in what year was that?
2012.
2012. So at 18 months. So it would be 2000. So he's 41 ish.
That doesn't seem like a very old Batman. I mean, older, but not like.
It's still significantly
All
older than.
Well, I mean, if you
Reed.
take that he's like
Man of
you know,
Steel
if
came
it
out in
was
2013.
2013, so it's
Given time in
2015.
comic books and how nobody ever ages, and they're all still like in their 20s or 30s.
they're all
it's,
20
like,
they're
still
all-
like
They're all 27
Set
years
way-
old.
it's still set way after
Tony
his
Stark
life.
was trapped in Vietnam.
Okay, so go ahead. Sorry.
Captain America's 80.
Anyways, his age, he wasn't like super old, but I mean, he'd been in the scene for a while. I thought Alfred was really good, but I thought that he was a little bit more, and it could have been the fact that he was basically like his tech guy also, like he was building his suit, but it seemed like he asked permission from Alfred to do a lot of things. Everything it seems like he was doing was always trying to get permission from Alfred to do it. Like he's been doing this for like 20 some years,
That
say 20
sounds-
years.
That sounds more like the Earth One Alfred almost.
Mm,
I didn't really get the impression that he was asking permission ever, but more so that he like respected and valued Alfred's opinion.
Well, he
Yeah.
asked, he's like, I'm gonna need the suit, and he's like, no, you're not gonna need the suit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just.
I think it was just Alfred giving him shit, But like, yeah, Jeremy Irons I thought was a good Alfred, but he wasn't necessarily the oldest looking Alfred we've seen, and so the fact that you had a younger looking Alfred with an older looking Batman was almost weird because it seemed like they were a lot closer in age than that relationship should have been.
Yeah, it did kind of have that look to it. I mean, like it was like Alfred started working for the Waynes at like 15 or something. But
That's kind of how it was in Earth One, though. Remember?
Alfred
was.
Alfred was
the
always
age
his
of
tech guy.
of his father.
yeah,
Of
which would have
Bruce
been like
Wayne's father.
35 or something like that. What was it? So in his mid 30s. But so I mean, it could have been, it could have looked like it, but he just, I don't know. There was some things with that I thought was weird with that. What else did I notice in it?
So did you like
I
it
thought-
better the second time?
Yeah. Well, I liked it about the same, really. I mean, I wouldn't say.
Well,
I wouldn't say that I knew when to look for things more the second time through.
Okay.
So I can't. So some scenes made sense. Like the first scene when it showed Flash and like warning him from the future, that part confused the hell out of me. And then I knew it was coming the second time, so I paid more attention to it. I thought the ending with Doomsday, like we all knew Doomsday was going to be in it, but I can't believe nobody speculated like the actual ending of the death of Superman. Like no one, it was so weird. Like I don't remember reading any about that or anything, and nobody speculated it that I read, and it was so obvious after they did it. Like oh shit,
Superman dies in this.
that was like the least spoiler-free review I ever could have given.
I thought we was lifting
I gave
the
him.
spoiler.
I gave him the green light. That's cool.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Superman dies in this movie.
Yes, Superman dies.
Are they bringing him back for Justice League?
Yes.
Or?
It
Yes.
would appear that way, yes.
So
I mean, just like he came back in the comics.
So he's not quite dead
So-
yet.
yeah, like at all. Right.
If you want, you don't have to
The
see it now,
casket
really.
vibrates because
Yeah.
he's punching it at the end.
No, I definitely
I thought
still
it was
want to
his
see it.
heartbeat speeding back up or something.
Hmm.
Maybe he's had some time alone so he could.
Punch the old kryptonite spear.
So,
Kryptonian.
what out of 10? What would you give it?
I'm gonna give it a 7. I'll give it a 7.
Okay. So it feels like Brian's score and review are just
Brian had 2 years to pound this evil review into his head.
yeah. That's kind of what I'm getting at. Is I don't think his is really very unbiased at all.
What did Brian give it?
2.5.
2.5
Out of 10?
Yeah.
Yep. I was unentertained. I almost fell asleep a couple of times while watching it, but I kept myself awake.
In my opinion, the only number for this movie that matters is how much money it brought in on opening weekend. And
Yeah,
it
but-
was significantly more than
bad.
another movie that came out this year, a little movie called Deadpool that I enjoyed far more, but did predict would not do nearly as well on an opening weekend. And I think we had a bet about that, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
You talked about that last week.
We might have. Yeah, that might be a thing.
Yeah. No, I mean that's fine. Like, I have no problem holding up my end of the bet, but I still feel like I made a good wager based on the fact that you were legitimately concerned that you might lose because
I did not expect Deadpool to do as well as it did,
Right.
but I mean, Batman v Superman still had the number 6 or 7 opening weekend of all time.
I don't think it was even that high.
Let's fact check that shit.
I'm not 100% sure exactly. I know it did really well. I still am holding to my bet with Brian that it will beat Captain America: Civil War's opening.
Number 7.
Number 7.
It had the 7th highest opening.
It was
weekend.
number 6, but somebody lied about the money it made.
So Force Awakens was number 1, Jurassic World, Avengers Age of Ultron, Iron Man 3, the last Harry Potter movie, and then Batman v Superman.
So it was
Deadpool was number 18, which is, I mean, it's still the highest. It's now the highest grossing R-rated movie of all time, which is pretty fucking ridiculous. I did not expect it to do that well, even though I knew it was going to be good. So yeah, it outperformed my expectations. But
for sure.
I mean, how do you beat a Batman? How do you beat a movie with Batman and Superman?
That's why
on opening
that's
weekend?
why I really think that I kind of wish that Civil War would have kept them on the same weekend so we could have seen a head to head. But
yeah,
that definitely
that
helps.
conversation.
In my opinion, that definitely helps Civil War for sure.
That conversation might have gone very differently because I thoroughly thought that Civil War, I believe I was of the camp that thought Civil War was probably going to beat it, but
yeah,
I mean,
everybody was.
but damn, man, Batman v Superman.
I strictly said Batman v
Did
Superman.
you? You were on my side.
Yeah, I was on your side on that one.
All right.
You felt bad.
I'm on the outside looking in so much, so I just assumed that I was by myself. Okay, so I mean,
Hey, before we move on,
Not
from
our
this,
fault.
yeah,
you picked
Brian-
Batman in defense of our
Brian
opinion.
has something he wants to
bring
address.
something up about John's friend, the text that was made.
Oh yeah, he was wrong about the deaths. Batman is a killing machine. Actually, the Batmobile is a killing machine.
Well, who's
Right.
pulling the trigger of the Batmobile?
It's like yeah, exactly, but it's like saying I didn't kill nobody, my gun killed him. You know what I mean? That was the Batmobile.
So to fill you in, Topher, Pirate and anybody that didn't hear last week's episode, Pirate got a text from a friend. I think I know who this person was, but do you want to say their name or no? Give them a little credit. Call them out.
Yeah, my buddy Patrick O'Sullivan.
Okay. Yeah, that's I figured who it was. He said that Batman doesn't actually kill anyone in this movie, and that he doesn't understand why people are saying that.
The text was directly pointed at me.
It did.
I
It
was
did.
wrong.
He said
It directly
Brian's
pointed at me. So Patrick, never go up against me. I'm always
But-
right.
But here's the thing. And after I seen it, I told him, I was like,
All right,
dude,
mark
I was
that
like,
moment so that Patrick
he
can hear it. It's 34 minutes and 45 seconds. 34 minutes and 45 seconds in. Patrick needs to listen to this shit.
so I like told him, I was like, dude, you were wrong about the deaths. I was like, Batman kills. And then he went back and watched it a second time. I think it was Tuesday. And then we rehashed this discussion.
Did he
And
change
he's like,
his whole story?
no, he didn't. He was
Stuck
like, I
to
was
his
looking-
guns.
He's
Stuck
like,
to
the
him.
way the car landed on top of another car, it wouldn't like have killed anybody. And I'm like, what about when he shoots the fucking guy with the Gatling gun? It blows up and he drives through the car.
Yeah.
3 dead bodies there.
I mean, and what about when he flips that first car over and then drags it upside down?
yeah,
And
that's what.
throws it into another car.
Yeah,
You never necessarily see the bodies. They could
in all
walk
fairness-
away.
They
You could've.
disappeared. The Flash came real
So
fast.
it's
I
killing.
saw the
It's
screen.
killing in the sense of Man of Steel was like genocide essentially.
Yes.
Yeah.
because anybody that doesn't think that Superman didn't kill 10,000 people in that fight is fucking ludicrous.
They didn't necessarily come right out and say it or show it,
I
but
mean-
there's no way it didn't happen because
yeah.
of physics.
Yeah,
because of
because
sun.
science. Yeah, Superman's a murderer. Apparently, so is Batman. All right, let's move on and talk about a couple other things. Let's talk
Sometimes
about.
to make a Justice League, you got to break a few eggs,
Hey.
you know?
Just
Hey,
saying. New Mutants. A little bit of news about this. So apparently, I can't remember who said it, but somebody involved with production in the movie has gone on record saying that the New Mutants movie will have a young adult vibe to it. And you guys said there was some castings. I'll try and get the name of who did that. Topher, you said there were some castings that that happened.
Josh Boone, he's co-writing New Mutants, was the one who came out and announced the first 3 cast members.
Oh, there's 3?
Well, okay, so there's 2 new castings, but they said that that Storm from Apocalypse, from X-Men Apocalypse, is going to be part of the New Mutants.
Yeah.
Simon Kinberg, the X-Men producer, is who said that it will have a young adult kind of theme and vibe to it. So I don't know exactly what that entails. Are they trying to appeal more to like a Twilight, Harry Potter?
Oh, there's going to be sparkling vampires in this movie?
Well, I mean, New Mutants, when the whole thing about it was that they were young,
Yeah.
brand new, fresh class, that they were kind of like the junior ones,
But, like, you think about it, like, this chick who plays Storm, who is, like, the same age as the other kids in the X-Men in this new movie.
Well,
yeah.
the girl that played Negasonic Teenage Warhead in Deadpool is gonna be in New Mutants. It's been confirmed.
Oh, really? That one I haven't seen.
We may have already
Wait.
met at least one. Well, okay, may have already met one, but it was
Yeah, 'cause
confirmed that she was wearing a New Mutants outfit. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't think she's going to be in it because
Oh, yeah, the style of her outfit they gave her.
Well, the style of her outfit is very similar to like all the new recruits in the X-Men comics have always had kind of a uniform that looks like that. So like I would expect them to have something similar.
Well, no,
But
it's confirmed
Negasonic
that that's the New Mutants uniform. That's it.
Well, that would actually surprise me a little bit because
It's confirmed.
Well, okay, it still surprises
Allegedly.
me. Like
Okay.
you can confirm it all you want, but I'm still surprised to hear
Confirmed.
it. Okay.
confirmed.
And I can confirm that I am surprised. That is
Good.
confirmed.
All right.
Hold on, I'm checking. Yes, this just in. Topher is surprised.
Confirmed.
Because confirmed. Because Deadpool takes place in modern day. Like that's
Yeah.
current timeline. Like Negasonic Teenage Warhead wouldn't even have been born yet when New Mutants is taking place. So
Well, Was that
Confirmed.
confirmed when it's taking place? Because it could be taking place in modern times while Age of Apocalypse is. Well, actually, if Storm's a part of it, then it has to be taking
If Storm's a
place
part of it, unless they're flashing back to her, then I would assume it's concurrent with the Apocalypse
which
timeline,
would be the 80s, right?
which would be the 80s. Yeah.
What about time traveling?
Bum,
Is
bum,
that been
bum.
confirmed?
I mean, it wouldn't be X-Men without time traveling at some
In
point. so.
Deadpool 2, it's confirmed that there will be time traveling.
I mean, yeah, there's
Have to be
Cable.
with Cable, yeah.
So anyway, we've spent a lot of time talking about this without actually announcing any of these
Confirmations.
these cast members.
Yeah, let's have
Are
it.
you confirming that we didn't get to this yet?
I've confirmed. Yes, confirmed. I was gonna let Brian do it since he
I don't remember
pointed
that.
out to me, but okay, well there you go. So
I
we know
confirm that he doesn't remember.
we know that Sansa Stark is Jean Grey in the X-Men Apocalypse movie, while her little sister in Game of Thrones, Maisie Williams, who plays Arya Stark, looks like is going to be Rain Sinclair, Wolfsbane,
Is that confirmed?
confirmed.
Confirmed.
Well,
I think
actually,
it's
not
all
until
rumors.
not until Fox confirms it.
I'm
I
pretty
think.
sure it's actually still all rumors. At least on IMDb, it is.
Well, IMDb
So
is-
it's probably like contracts probably aren't signed yet.
But is
could
it
be.
Comic Book Nerd Nation confirmed?
Confirmed.
And the other one is Ilyana Rasputin, Magic, Colossus's little sister, is going to be Anya Taylor-Joy, who I guess was in a movie called The Witch, which I've not seen, but I guess people liked her in that.
Also,
and
Storm.
She kind of looks the part-ish, so I'm
Is that confirmed?
okay with that.
It's
Oh.
magic.
Why is John showing his O face?
That's what I was just thinking.
It's magic. What about Storm? Also.
Yeah, we
It's
already
cast.
talked about that
As we were
first.
saying,
Oh,
we-
I
that's-
wasn't listening to you. Sorry.
That is confirmed. That
Confirmed.
Doc wasn't listening.
Right. Next bit of news. Speaking of time travel, I thought that was a good
Let's
lead-in.
do the time warp.
Let's travel
again.
back in time to when we talked about Storm being in it.
Yeah. Legends of Tomorrow. We talked about last week. Was it last week or maybe 2 weeks? 2 weeks ago that we talked about how they were potentially, or they were
I ain't seen
adding,
shit yet.
they were adding another beloved DC character to the Legends of Tomorrow show.
Yes.
Is that
And-
confirmed?
Yes, it is confirmed because it already happened. They had not announced who it was. There was a bunch of different theories. It was Talia al Ghul.
Oh yeah, I heard about
Spoiler
that.
alert, I guess. Whatever.
Did she have Bane with her?
No, she's a kid. So
Ah.
they're back in the 1980s, or no, 50s. I'm sorry, 1950s, and
Is that confirmed?
yes, fuck you. Sarah Lance goes to Nando Parbat and trains with the younger Ra's al Ghul, and Talia al Ghul is in that. It's the same actor that played Ra's al Ghul in
Actress?
Arrow. Ra's al Ghul.
Oh, actor.
Yeah, I said
Is
exactly
that-
what I meant.
Is that Roz's wife?
If you shut your cocksucker and listen.
Is that confirmed?
Confirmed. And then the other thing that happened, spoiler alert, Pirate, are you caught up?
No, I'm not caught up. I need to get caught up.
Ah,
I'm not caught up.
Can
on
I just
Flash Arrow.
can I just drop the
Yeah,
bomb?
Go ahead. Yeah.
We found out who Kronos is.
Oh, I heard about that.
It's
And I
Heatwave.
confirmed that. Sounds bad.
Kronos
Oh.
is actually Heatwave, which is a really interesting twist to the story because that really starts looping around the whole timeline thing. Because apparently he became Kronos due to the fact that Captain Cold
Sub-Zero?
was pissed at him, and they had that falling out. So I think that adds a whole nother layer to the story that really makes it interesting and really makes you think about how the time travel and the changing of events and the folding of the time continuum and stuff kind of happens. The Flash has got to be number one right now, but Legends of Tomorrow is still edging out Arrow, and there's been some good ass Arrow episodes on lately, for sure. New team member on the Arrow show. Have any of you guys seen Arrow?
Is it Batman?
No.
No, I'm not caught up on that one either.
Spider-Man?
No. It's Curtis.
The Green Goblin? Curtis Axel?
Curtis, the black tech guy from
Oh
Mr.
yeah,
Terrific?
from Palmer.
Palmer
Smoke
Tech. Yeah.
Mr. Terrific?
Felicity Smoke's like science advisor or whatever. I don't know what his title is, but yeah, he ends up kind of running the Arrow cave or whatever the fuck you want to call it in the most recent episode. So it was really good. It was really good. This past week's episodes of Flash, Arrow, and Legends of Tomorrow all straight tens, super good stuff. Dime piece episodes for sure.
Dying Peace?
Yeah,
Is that confirmed?
it's confirmed. Fuck off. That's also confirmed. Okay, so the next bit of news: the Batman v Superman Batcave is now on Google Maps, and this is cool as shit. I don't know if you guys saw this. Shut the fuck up. Let it die. God damn, you're annoying. You're like a fucking 4-year-old child. Jesus Christ.
Confirmed. He is a 4-year-old child.
Confirmed.
Okay. So the BVS Batcave is on Google Maps. This is really cool because it's like the street view. So you can just do a 3D interactive tour and just kind of walk through the Batcave and see all the different shit. Have you guys seen this yet?
No.
Really?
No.
Wow. You guys are just fucking on top of shit today.
Yes.
It's pretty amazing. I'm not gonna lie. Let me send this to you real quick. If I can find it again. Well, this is embarrassing. Here it is. Okay. Let me send this over to you guys real quick so you can check it out while we're live on the podcast, because this I really think this is fucking cool as shit. It's I don't know, just I don't know why they did this other than obviously advertising and marketing dollars and things like that, but I think this could be really cool in the future. Like, if you think some of the other applications of this, as far as like we're going to have a Hall of Justice probably from the Justice League movie. That would be really cool to have. Stuff from the Star Wars universe. I mean, basically anything from the Star Wars universe would be sweet.
This doesn't seem secure if bad guys can just, get Google directions to the Batcave
Just-
like that.
And I wonder how Robin died.
Just ask Siri where the Batcave. Well, where? Yo, hey, yo, bitch. Oh shit. Siri is a fucking. That bitch needs to keep her mouth shut. No, it's pretty cool. It's if you haven't checked it, if you haven't seen it yet, you can find it on Newsarama. You can probably just go to Google Maps and just type in Batcave, and I would almost bet that it would come right up. Okay, so in other news, Suicide Squad, the Suicide Squad movie that's coming up, apparently is doing some really expensive reshoots to add more humor to the movie. I'm a little worried about this. I'm a little concerned. What are your guys' thoughts? Get to mine.
The way I heard it, the trailer with the Queen song in it when they're doing Bohemian Rhapsody, like supposedly that was all like every single funny bit in the movie was in that trailer, and the trailer did not represent the tone of the movie.
That's
but the
fine.
trailer went over so well that they were like, oh shit, maybe we need to make the movie more like the trailer.
Oh god.
That's
I really don't.
concerning.
Yeah, I really don't think anything good can come of this. Like, I think that while there should be some aspects of comedy, I think it should be dark comedy, not just comedy for the sake of comedy. I think it should be twisted, creepy comedy. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. And I am excited about this.
The kind of thing where you laugh and then go, that's fucked up.
Yes, that's the kind of comedy that this this group of characters needs, not like slapstick Guardians of the Galaxy type comedy. You know, so I don't know. I'm a little concerned. Brian, you have any thoughts on this? You're the one that brought this to the table.
No. I mean, maybe they're doing it because many people complained that they didn't like the seriousness of Batman v Superman. I don't know. I mean, that's not confirmed. That's just my opinion.
Or maybe they're just trying to ride some Deadpool.
Because why would they go back and do reshoots like 3 months before the movie comes out or something like that?
Why
Does it
would
come
they
out in
make
August?
a trailer that isn't anything like the movie?
Yeah.
I think they made the trailer the way it was because they were trying to highlight
The only good parts.
Joker for starters a little bit, but Harley Quinn. I mean, I still think Harley Quinn's going to completely steal the show.
She's gonna make or break this.
Yeah,
really.
for sure. I think she's going to be a great Harley Quinn. I really do. I mean, she's different than what we maybe have seen in the past. Jared Leto as Joker, I'm not 100% sold on that yet, but I don't think it's going to be terrible. I mean, I think it'll be a different twist to it, but I think it'll probably be all right. I'm pretty excited for the Suicide Squad movie. I have high hopes. The only thing at this point going into it, the only thing that I really can honestly say that I don't like is Will Smith. That's pretty much the only thing.
No, I don't think anybody likes Will Smith.
So, what do you think about this movie going into it, Brian?
I'm not excited for it. I mean,
Well, I mean,
I
knew that
think
'cause
this
it's not Marvel.
movie.
Are you sponsored by Marvel?
No,
do
I
they
just
pay-
think DC hasn't done anything in many years that has ever been good, so there's no reason
How
to like it.
dare you?
What was good? What was good?
The whole fucking Nolan trilogy?
Well, again, I will say the same thing I say.
You can't not count the
DC
fucking Nolan trilogy.
No, I don't count that as DC. He took
That's
his Batman
bullshit.
and said, "We're
That's
not
bullshit.
connecting him."
It's a fucking
No.
DC character. You can't just say,
DC
"Oh yeah,
character,
that
but
was
he
good,"
made
but I don't
Batman his
count
own
that.
way. He said that he's not having
I don't
this
count that
connect
one
with
'cause it was
another
good.
character. So DC hasn't done anything to really put their universe together
You know
like
what?
Marvel has.
You're fucking crazy. You can't just
It's
exclude
confirmed that
something.
they haven't done anything
You
good.
can't just exclude something because it was awesome and it doesn't fit your twisted
Oh,
fucking
it was
opinion.
awesome, but it has nothing to do with the rest of the DC universe. It was a standalone.
So it doesn't count as a
nothing
DC
else,
movie. Doesn't count as a DC
Nothing
movie
else.
because
No,
it's
he took
too
it on
good.
his own.
Yeah.
Warner Brothers had nothing to do with that movie.
Newsflash, everyone. Apparently, according to Brian, Batman is no longer a DC character.
I can't take
Just
anything
throwing that
you
out
say.
there.
I can't take anything you say seriously because you're the only one on this earth that liked Green Lantern.
There are plenty of people that enjoyed that movie.
The
I didn't
people who
say it
made
was
the movie
great.
said it was terrible.
I didn't say it was great, but I said
You
for
said
the
it was
time,
good.
for the time that it was made, it was
wasn't
not
good.
awful.
It was awful.
No.
When the people
Now,
who made it said
yeah,
it was
yeah,
awful.
Now you go back and watch it now.
No, it was awful. It was terrible anytime you watch it.
I feel like even Topher
Even if
agrees
you
with
went
me
back
that,
in the
that you
50s.
can't just exclude fucking three
Oh, no,
phenomenal
that was-
films.
That was in the Nolan. You could tie that into Inception more than you could tie it into the DC universe. It was a standalone movie. The only person who lived in that universe was Batman.
It's a pirate. How you doing, man? How's it going over there, bud?
Wait,
I'm doing good.
Did you say
I'm
that
good.
the
Yeah.
only DC character that lived in that universe was Batman?
Well, anything Batman,
Except
but
for-
it couldn't
except
tie
for
into
Ra's
the
al Ghul.
Justice League. Well, that's all Batman stuff. There
Oh
was
well,
no
I guess
tie-in
that
to
character
any other
doesn't count
hero
as DC either, right?
besides that guy
You're so
who
fucking
happened
twisted.
to name Robin at the end of it.
Man, your opinions don't even count.
Oh, I like
anymore.
your
You're
first
so
name. You should
fucking
use it.
twisted.
Robin.
Man, I don't even. I mean, Topher, you're a fairly logical person most of the time.
So while you're making note of certain times during this podcast to reference in the future, you might want to write this one down, Fox, because I'm going to agree with you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm going to say that Fox is right on this one. You can't discount the Nolan movies, the Nolan Batman movies as not being DC movies.
Discounting it. It's
No,
just
okay,
not
but
like
Here comes the backpedaling. Watch everybody.
Here's the funny thing. Like, here's the funny thing. Like, I find it endlessly amusing that you know, that Brian's getting pegged as the Marvel fanboy here, and I'm about to say something against them.
Dude, he's balls deep on some fucking Marvel cinema.
So I like the Marvel movies as much as the next guy, but if you're going to say that the Batman movies don't count as DC movies because they weren't establishing a universe the way that the Marvel movies did, you're kind of begging the question there. That's a logical fallacy. You can't accept what Marvel has done and then after the fact make that the measuring stick by which you're saying the other one doesn't count. Like that's not really a valid argument.
That's not my only argument. Because the Batman movies was never made to establish anything else in the DC line. Like, it was never meant to connect to anything.
But why do they
It was
have
never
to?
meant to do
Why
anything.
do they have to?
You have this
Because that's why I don't like the rest of DC.
You're saying that because Marvel did it, DC has to do it or it's not good.
No, the whole point of this argument right now is to tell you why I like Marvel more than I like DC. Because they haven't done anything.
Marvel.
Warner
did
Brothers
the
has never
Nolan
made
verse.
anything.
They didn't connect anything
Yeah, but
until
the Nolan
2008
verse-
with Iron Man, and then you have Batman, which came
Yes,
out.
they did.
What,
They
2005?
connected everything with Iron Man. Iron
That's
Man
what
was a start off.
That's what I'm saying. In 2008, Batman came out. What, 2005? Like, you can't.
No.
And then all of a sudden, like,
lasted past Iron Man.
was so
But the-
2008, and
the
Nolan
first one-
was
the
2000
first
and
one-
late.
yeah. There you go. Like, you can't. Like, they've already had 2 movies deep in the Batman series, and then all of a sudden they're going to be like, oh, there was one movie that just came out that had a post-credit scene with another movie that just came out. What a coincidence! That's kind of cool. I mean, there was like 2 Marvel movies out by then. Like, by the time they finished the Nolan series, so there was 2 post-credit scenes. So how are they supposed to say they was even onto something?
If you
know
look
what I
at
mean?
anything that Marvel did up to the point of the Nolan series, the Nolan series shits on everything that Marvel did before that. For sure. 100%.
No, Iron Man beat
Confirmed.
out Batman.
No, I disagree. Maybe financially it did, but I disagree. I think that the Nolan verse movies are better than Iron Man. For sure.
No, I don't.
Well, I know
No,
you
but
wouldn't. I know you wouldn't.
The second movie,
I mean,
yeah, but not the first or the third one.
So, the fact that you're saying that they have to tie in other characters, I think is ridiculous. I think there's no problem with doing. Why can't you do a Superman movie by itself? Why can't you do a Batman movie by itself? Why couldn't you theoretically do an Iron Man movie by itself, or a Hulk movie by itself, or a Hawkeye movie? Why couldn't you do any of those movies and it be
You can't do a Hawkeye movie by itself.
Well, I'm just giving you an
can't do a
example, though.
Hawkeye.
I'm just saying, like, why couldn't you do those, or Captain America for that matter? Any of the characters, why couldn't you do a standalone that has nothing to do with any other film other than that film? Why can't that be a good movie in and of itself, by itself? Why can't that be enjoyable?
Because Brian
I never
said
said it couldn't be enjoyable.
Okay. Would it still
It just
be,
would-
if
That
it was
wasn't-
if
It
it was
just
a
wouldn't
Captain,
count.
if it was a Captain America movie and it had nothing to do with anything else at all, would that still be considered a Marvel movie? I think so. So therefore,
Yeah, but
by that same token, the Nolan movies count as DC movies. They 100% are DC movies.
Does Fantastic Four count as a Marvel movie?
It
No,
does.
It's a Marvel property.
That counts as garbage.
Well, by that, I mean, if you count that as a Marvel
But it
movie. Arguably, you could say that Marvel also makes the worst comic book movies.
But Fantastic Four stick had a better Friday to Saturday transition than Batman vs Superman did. That's a
What?
little weird.
What?
Hold on, I gotta bring up.
Yeah, you're
The-
gonna need to
the
fucking
money
justify that
making-
statement.
I still
It
haven't
was-
seen Fantastic Four.
Yeah, neither have
I
I.
did. It
I
was
see
terrible.
I haven't seen any of them.
It has like an 8% right now on Rotten Tomatoes. I think.
Are
I
you
heard.
trying to tell me that Fantastic Four made more money than Batman v Superman opening weekend?
No, they had a report about the transition from money made on a Friday to a Saturday.
What,
Batman,
what is that?
I put it in
That is figures that Marvel fanboys come up with.
Yeah, I don't.
No,
Is this a made up Matt? Is
Die
this,
Hard.
No, I put it in the.
what are you
If you
talking
guys should-
about? You don't even know what you're talking about right now. This isn't even real.
No, that's. I mean, those are numbers that they
What's
released.
the transition? What
I
is
don't know the-
transition dollars?
But in terms of like how many people went to see it on opening day versus how many people came out the very next day, still on opening weekend after the initial reviews were out. Like, it is a thing, but
So it's
I mean,
a percentage thing. So if
I don't think
two
anybody
people-
like.
So if two people saw, if one person saw Fantastic Four on Friday and then two people saw it on Saturday, they would have a 200% rating because this is a 200. It's a percentage transition. But because a shit ton of fucking people saw Superman or Batman v Superman on the first day, their transition numbers are not going to be as high. Why? Because nobody fucking saw Fantastic Four on the opening night. Why? Because it was a fucking terrible movie.
Just think how big Batman v Superman's numbers would have been if that 20% of the Deadpool audience had actually been allowed to come out and see it, but from their parents.
I know, right? It'd have been crazy.
It's
It's a good thing. It's a good thing for you that I was wrong because those 20% did go see it, and you won your bet.
I did.
I'm just saying.
What was the? What is?
Look at
Chris
Brian.
have to
Brian's
do,
still
or
balls deep in
Fox
his
have to do.
PDA over here trying to fucking justify his latest asinine argument.
If Fox had won, I was supposed to rewatch Wolverine Origins and do a glowing review of it and talk about all the good things that happened in it and really sell you on the movie. And but since I won, Fox will be reading the first 6-issue story arc of Totally Awesome Hulk
Whoa,
and giving
6 issues? I thought I had to read 1 issue.
No, it was.
the opening story
I don't
arc.
think it was
The fucking
6 issues. I think it was the first story arc.
the first story arc 6 fucking issues. There's no way that's happening. I'm telling
Well,
you.
6 issues hasn't been out yet.
I'm liable to light it on fire before I get through 6 issues. I'll try and get through 3. We'll see. If it's 6 issues, I'll read the first 6 issues. I mean, it's probably at a 3rd grade reading level, judging by the art and the fucking title. So
No,
it's probably
Amadeus
got
chose
about
like
37 words per issue.
Amadeus chose the 8th smartest person in the Marvel universe.
Yeah, the
Something
fact
like that.
fact that they fucking classify
Third,
him as
fucking, I don't know.
that's ridiculous. Rebirth. We got to talk about this for a minute. We just stumbled onto this right before. Well, Pirate said he's known about it for a while. I didn't know about this, so maybe I just stumbled onto this. Rebirth. There's going to be a new Superman. Friend of Comic Book Nerd Nation, Gene Luen Yang, who I think is a phenomenal writer. I really do. I'm not bullshitting. I'm not, nut hugging or anything like that. I think he's a really good writer. He's done some really, really awesome work. Boxers and Saints, I have it right here on the shelf. Some of the super fast read, super good. If you haven't read it, you need to go out and buy those 2 books, Boxers and Saints. Really good stuff. Really intellectual guy. He's been writing Superman. Well, come Rebirth, they're changing Superman. There's going to be a whole new character as Superman. It's not going to be Clark Kent anymore. It's going to be a 17-year-old Chinese kid named Kenji Kong that is going to gain some of Superman's powers. I hate it. I hate the idea of it. I think it's really weird. And the costumes are pretty racist looking.
He's a new character. There's still going to be a Clark Kent.
In a different comic book, though, right?
he's not writing Superman anymore. This is just he's writing this new character.
I thought this was in Superman. I thought this was Superman's the Superman title was going to the. I'm pretty sure.
Unless Superman is just going to be in Action Comics.
No.
But they're not getting rid of
what
Superman.
That's what I'm saying, and I'm pretty sure that he's still writing for Superman, the Superman title.
Did you post it to us?
Debut New Superman.
Oh no, you just.
I'm sorry. It is going to be a new title. It's going to be New Superman, by the former Superman writer, which is Gene Luen Yang, along with artist Victor Bogdanovic. Yeah. Novich, something like that. It'll be a monthly series. Gets centered on a young Chinese man named Kenji Kong, who gets infused with Superman's powers. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't. As long as they give it a reason and some backstory as far as why it happened, I don't have necessarily a problem with it. But I just think it's a little strange. I don't know.
Anybody here care that DC is rebooting their universe again?
I mean,
Well,
how
we
many
talked about
fucking
their
times
rebirth
has Marvel done that shit?
thing a while ago.
They all have done it
Never?
so much. Yeah,
Marvel's
just
never
now.
done it. They do new number
Just
ones.
now.
Okay,
Every
no.
other
New
week.
number ones, that's a different
New number
story.
one. Okay, when you said reboot, I thought you were actually talking about, like new versions of the characters.
No,
which technically
no.
they did once in the 90s, the whole
Well, they did it
Heroes
too in all
Reborn.
new Marvel Now. There was some new
Well,
characters.
Well, not
versions.
Marvel now. The all new Marvel that's going on right as we speak is like a light rebirth, reboot.
So I was looking at the pictures
Yeah.
of Gene Luen Yang's Superman. How and you said it was racist. How is this? How is it racist?
Well, no, I don't know, man.
I mean, it's got the
I guess it's not. I don't know. I guess it's not that bad.
It's red. I mean, it's all red, but I mean, their flag is all red.
China color.
It's
Yeah,
got
all
yellow
All right, I'm
and-
with you.
It's like, I
Okay,
mean,
so I
that's like saying
withdraw-
Captain America's racist.
Yeah,
you know?
I agree. I withdraw my previous statements.
I think it's racist to say that it's racist.
Well, fuck you. I don't know, man. Like, I mean, it could end up being awesome. It could. It's a twist, a huge twist on a character that is the foundation of what we know as comic books. Our generation that appreciates comic books was built on Batman and Superman, basically. And a handful of the Marvel characters are right there too. The X-Men, I would say, would probably be the Marvel side. Maybe Fantastic Four, not as popular with our generation as previous generations. But
Well, growing up, we had Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, and X-Men were the big cartoons.
right,
Yeah.
and
So to see anything like drastically change with them is just like
exactly, it's kind of a shock to the system.
fucked up.
But here's the thing, though. It's not.
I mean, you've had so many versions. There was Superman Red Sun. You had the death of Superman in the 90s. It was a big thing. And then you had like 4 different Superman, Superboy, random cyborg Superman. Like there's always a gajillion versions of
Yeah,
your
but
favorite characters.
Superboy was a different character for starters.
well, they
right,
all, they were all different characters. I mean, yeah.
Red Sun was a not in canon storyline, correct? I think that was
Yeah, it was an
so-
Elseworld story.
So that was, you can take that one out of it. So
Well, there's always like a
here's the
million
thing.
forms of character. Batman had, Batman.
Yeah,
Now he's
shit.
got
about-
Batwing.
How about Batman Incorporated when there was like a Batman in every fucking country? Like
Spider-Man had all his clones.
yeah, it was Grant Morrison.
They've done this. They've done this whole,
Yeah.
well, there you go.
Yeah,
They've
exactly.
done this whole like versions of the character of other countries, before, especially when it's a character that's tied specifically to, the truth, justice, in the American way. Like they've done other countries' versions of things like this before. So I mean, I don't think it's really all that out of character. It's not like they're straight up replacing Superman. Also, another point I'd like to make on this is, so are you so unhappy that you're going to stop reading Superman?
I don't read Superman.
Exactly.
Anyway.
So
Well,
you're
yeah,
really
so-
up in arms over something.
No,
You're like,
I'm not really up in arms.
This is an affront to this character whose stuff
I'm not
I don't
really
read.
I'm not up in arms. I'm not sure. I'm not sure I fully understand where they're wanting to go with it. And I mean, I know where Gene Luen
Tell a
Yang is
story.
wanting to go with it. Obviously he's a huge Asian American rights activist, and you know he's going to push that kind of cultural influence everywhere. That's just him. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's
They're
just
not
like
replacing Superman. They're just having a character that is an offshoot of Superman.
right, and
It's like
now that I
saying
realize that, because like I said, when I found this just a little bit before the podcast, I just was scanning through and I read it very quickly. I thought they were replacing him.
Oh, okay.
So now that I see that it's a different
Yeah.
title, I'm significantly less upset about it for sure. I still don't necessarily understand. I don't necessarily understand it, but I mean, it could be. I mean, again, Gene Luen Yang, amazing writer. He could make this work. It could be really good. I just don't know that I can see
gonna
the
be
vision yet. I just don't. I'm not there yet.
There's gonna be 3 different Supermen in Rebirth.
Really.
There's supposed to be a new
This guy,
Superwoman too.
I think this guy is the Superman. But there's gonna be the normal Superman, the normal New 52 Superman. Then Action Comics is the pre-New 52 Superman, the one with the underwear on the outside, and then this guy.
I haven't really heard much about where the New 52 Superman fits into this. It seems like they're going back to, old Superman.
It's all the same characters. That old Superman exists with the New 52 Superman. The one with the underwear on the outside exists with the non-underwear wearing armored guy.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a little weird.
Rebirth could be a clusterfuck.
That's like the only thing to come out of Convergence.
It sounds very unapproachable, to be perfectly honest. Like, it does not sound very reader friendly. But we'll just have to wait and see as they start launching. When's the release date or the kickoff date for that?
It didn't say a date. I think it said somewhere in July.
Okay. Well, I'm sure we'll be talking about that more. But until then, that's the end of this episode. I'm Fox2. We got Pirate.
Have a great day. As a week, whatever. I can't.
Topher.
End of the podcast, confirmed.
And the whole effing Brian.
I'm tired.
Me too.
Peace.